Breaking news coming in. Bangalore City Crime Branch has received threats on Twitter after its arrest of Mehdi Biswas. Headlines today as Twitter images that are there on your television screens right now of messages that have been sent to Bangalore police. Mehdi was arrested yesterday and was charged with masterminding and handling the most popular ISIS account. He was later produced in court and sent to 5-day police custody. Joining me on the phone line is Abhishek Goel, DCP Crime Branch. Mr. Goel, now you've received terror threats after Mehdi was arrested by the Bangalore police.
Actually, after arresting him yesterday, we from our official pages have actually tweeted regarding his arrest. So we have received a lot of reactions, almost to the tune of 550 reactions and retweets and all that. So as part of one of these reactions also, yes, we have received, I think, one reaction which has been played out by some of the news agencies. We have seen it and we will take into consideration, but we are not overly alarmed by it, and we somehow expected that. And we have taken all measures for the security of the accused who's in our custody, and also regarding the security of the investigation team also in general.
Right, Mr. Goel, Mehdi was careful about his hiding his identity, as the Bangalore police commissioner was talking about in his press conference yesterday. Do you think there will be a fallout of more such threats coming to you and other people as well, threatening the police of attacks or of threats after this arrest of Mehdi Biswas?
The virtual social media, it actually provides a lot of anonymity to users, and also it is possible for them to be anywhere. Mr. Mehdi, he was all the time present in Bangalore. He's never traveled to Middle East, but simply by Googling all the information, by reading a lot, by tweeting, by retweeting, he was able to become a dominant voice in the social media regarding affairs of Middle East. So if he was sitting here and he could tweet regarding the issues which are present there, similarly a lot of people sitting elsewhere could tweet about our issues or could be tweeting to us. So that is the advantage and the disadvantage of this medium. So we take that into our stride, and we'll be working closely with Twitter also, and also we'll be looking into his accounts and tweets and try to find out if there are more Indian connections, if there are more people who could be sitting elsewhere and doing things here, and vice versa.
Right, Mr. Goel, as we can see on our television screens, this threat was actually addressed in your name, in your Twitter account. Do you think you have taken any security measures against that?
See, as I already told you, we will take the necessary measures as depending upon the perception or the threat perception. But we are not overly worried about it. Just one of the reactions we have received. We cannot simply assume that it has come from ISIS, because as we have already seen, people could be sitting somewhere, could be using fake identity to say so many things on the social media.
Right, Mr. Goel, do you think the extent of Mehdi Biswas' involvement in abetting ISIS operation is only beginning to reveal itself now? Do you think that there are more cards waiting to fall? Do you think there are more such threats that will be coming in?
As I said, we'll take them into stride, and our work has just begun. Yesterday was just the arrest. We have a long way to go. We have taken his police custody for 5 days. He has tweeted almost, I think, lakhs and lakhs of tweets and retweets over the period of some 2-3 years. So we will carefully go through everything and try to find out how we can help the authorities in other parts of the world, and how we can get more intelligence and more information regarding such operatives working in India or elsewhere, and who can also be of some danger and can encourage misguided youths to join various terrorist groups. So all that is part of investigation, and we will be doing a thorough job over a period of time.
Right, Abhishek Goel, DCP Crime Branch, many thanks for joining us. Also joining me on the phone line, Deputy Editor Rohini Swami and Kamaljeet Sandhu from the National Capital. Rohini, it's the Mehdi Biswas fallout, the arrest fallout. After that, the police even now getting threats on Twitter.
Yes, not just that. The fact that there has been a lot of tweets that have been coming from the ISI's handle also, as soon as the arrest was announced, itself shows the kind of following Mehdi had. Interestingly, when Abhishek Goyal was investigating the case, he also said an important point, and that point being that Mehdi Hassan, sitting in one place, not even part of an organization, has managed to have such huge number of followers on Twitter for the simple reason that he was a sympathizer and how he went about his job tweeting from 2009. Another way is the strategy in which he has gone about it. His identity was very unknown till this whole report came out. More importantly, the number of followers he's had across the world. And as soon as his arrest has been made and announced, there are Twitter followers who are saying that they want that Twitter handle back and nothing remains the same. Now the point is, the question now is Mehdi Hassan just an armchair person like Kamal was saying yesterday, sitting and just tweeting, or there's more that meets the eye? Abhishek just made this comment right now to you, Amita, saying that the investigation has just started. But this could just be the tip of the iceberg.
Right. Kamalji, coming to you now, what action does the MHA will decide to take in this? Now the identity of Mehdi Biswas has now been exposed. What action does the MHA will now take?
Well, it's the investigative agencies which are taking the action, which includes Karnataka Police and the NIA. And remember, he's been booked under UAPA as well as Section 125 of IPC. But what is worrying is this entire trend of youth joining ISIS either through vicarious activities on the internet or through being armchair propagandists just like Masroor. We've been talking to our agencies and they've been telling us that they have identified a few more Twitter handles and social network sites where youth have, they've been called misguided youth by investigative agencies who say they've identified a few more Twitter handles and social network sites where these activities are going on. This is seen as a very disturbing trend. And remember, we know that there have been arrests earlier in this particular case itself where 4 Kalyan youth had headed towards Iraq and Syria. So this entire domain has not remained just within India, but just because of the internet, we know that the social network site has opened platform. There are many misguided youth who in the name of religion could be attracted, but the fact remains that this is a worrying trend and should be nipped in the bud. We've seen Rajnath Singh speak in Guwahati and he said that this will be nipped in the bud, that people within India will not be supporting. But we've seen over the past few years that activities on the internet have been a worrying trend, and there has to be a wing which really investigates the entire social network sites. Whether we're talking about threat to Bangalore police or the Channel 4, the fact remains that internet activity at this point in time, the cyber attack per se itself could be one of the biggest threats for India.
Right, Kamaljeet and Rohini, thank you very much for joining us. We'll keep coming back to you for more details.